to make sure we have everybody's correct name and information. I see Mr. Johnson, Ms. Parham, Mr. Canard, Robbins. I see somebody on an iPhone with a black cap. I'm going to ask you to unmute if you could just identify yourself, please.
Me.
Oh, no, I've got you. You're good. I think actually the one on the person on the iPhone is frozen, so we'll check back with her in a minute. But let me call Miss Parm first. So Miss Parm, are you there?
Yes.
Excuse me, Judge. What you asked me to do?
Oh, is that Mr. Bell?
No, it's Mr. Hurling.
Mr. Hurling. Okay, I just you're actually identified. All I need to do at the very beginning of the session is just identify who's here. But some people they don't change their name from iPhone, so I just have to make sure I've got everybody checked in. But I've got you, Mr. Hurling. You're good. Okay.
This is Mr. Bell right here.
And Mr. Bell, I've got you checked in. Perfect. All right, great. Okay. All right. So let me start with Miss Parham. Let's see here. That's case number 2301357, Brielle Parm.
Ready, Your Honor. John Adgatapring on behalf of Brielle Parm. Hi, Brielle.
Hi, how you doing?
Oh, there she is. I always look for the yellow. I can't find it. So, Judge, Brielle's done the work to get to the point of having her permit. It's good through April. Brielle, have you set up your road test yet?
I actually went like 2 weeks ago. And it wasn't I failed.
This is Auburn.
Oh, hang on 1 second. I'm so sorry. Okay, go ahead, Miss Parham. So,
I plan on going back. Probably like when I get another off day. When I get the funds. But I did go to, I think it's called Sohan road test in Hamtramck, Michigan.
Okay.
So what part did you struggle with? Was it the parking, or did you get out to the road?
No, it was the parking.
Okay.
But
So Miss Parham, here's my advice on the parking. Okay. Remember, so there's going to be two parts of the road test. There's going to be the parking, and then there's going to be getting to the road. Now, all you have to do is complete the parking. And once you get done with the parking, it's not like that carries with you. So if you didn't do so swell on the parking and you don't do so great on the road that you're done, you just have to get to the road. And to get to the road, you have to there's 6 points. Basically, it's like anytime you would hit a cone or something like that, that's a point. Okay. So my best advice to you is, since usually it's parallel parking is the toughest one. Was that the toughest one for you?
Yeah, because I really didn't even understand what he was saying, like when he was talking to me, because they a different race, and I asked for a different instructor, but it wasn't possible, so they just requested for me to come back. I had a hard time understanding him. Actually, like it was, yeah, and
Okay.
it was.
So what I would ask then too, Ms. Parm, is talk with Mr. Angat. Okay, you got his number, right? Our attorneys. There's all sorts of different providers that you could also utilize if you weren't comfortable with that. But one of the things that I would give you some advice on, become really good at, because there's 3 parts of the parking. You got to pull in, you got to back in, and you got to parallel park. Right. So become as much of an expert as possible for the pulling in and then the backing in. Okay, so you can save as many points for the parallel parking, because my daughter crushed a cone, but it's only worth 1 point. All right, she crushed a cone on parallel parking, but eventually got it in there. And then you never have to parallel park again if you don't want to, okay? You just might have to walk a little ways, but you don't ever have to do that again. But the key is get through that parking and get to the road, Miss Parham. And then at that point in time, I feel like you'll be just fine after that. But talk to Mr. Angat. Maybe it's just a situation that once you had that sort of negative interaction, then everything else after that was uncomfortable. And if you're not comfortable, it makes it a lot harder to try to fit between those cones, right? So but you have your permit. I feel really confident that we're going to get this done. What I'll do is
I'm gonna get it done.
You'll get it done. You'll get it done. We know that.
All right, so I will bump this out another 30 days. Again, you don't owe anything to this court right now. I'm delaying all payments, all fines and costs, all that kind of stuff. And if you get done sooner, let Mr. Angat know. We'll bring you in sooner, okay?
Okay, that'll be fine.
All right. Well, Happy New Year. Good luck, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
Okay.
You too.
All right. And then Mr. Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. 23-00666.
Your Honor, Elizabeth Chappelle on behalf of Terrence Johnson. Your Honor, in this matter, he has already gotten his permit. He got it on the 8th. So at this point, it looks like he's immediately eligible to take the road test.
This is fantastic news. So basically, in Mr. Johnson, we have somebody who I know back in November of 2021, you went back to get your license. He went to get his license. And because of that law we've been talking about, he was ready to get his license back then. And the Secretary of State said, no, because of this law, you can't get it. And so Mr. Johnson's been grinding away. And here he is now in a position. He's got his permit. What's the plan for the road test?
Oh, Your Honor, I already passed the road test. I don't think my attorney got my I sent her the text message from the road test. I passed the road test as well as the written part of the test.
This is great.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm just waiting on my license.
I love these surprises.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, so my driving record is old. Okay, so it's because obviously you make things happen pretty fast. So I'm going to run a new record, because the most important thing for me now is that since you got your license, I want to make sure that if anybody ever checked your record, that what you have is the same as what I have. I want to be able to run your record and see valid on it. So just hang with me for a minute. I'm going to have that new record run. I'll call another case while that's happening, but don't go anywhere. Okay.
Yes,
I
sir.
gotta say, I was a little worried, Terrence, because I see the steering wheel in front of you. So.
Terrence, I only got the temporary.
Yeah, I got the temporary. I sent you the road test as well. I thought I did. I could have sworn I did. I passed them both.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
So what was the toughest part of the road test?
It wasn't tough at all. I went to the same place that the young lady right before me, and I passed on the first time.
Okay, well then that gives me hope that she'll be able to get that done as well. So this is great news. So just hang tight for a minute. We will. I've got my staff running a new record right now, and
Yes, sir.
I'll call you as soon as I get that record in. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Judge, do you need me to run it?
I think Monica's running it right now.
Oh, okay, because I have one. Okay.
We don't even have to call another case. Monica's already here. Terrence Leon Johnson, valid license. Well done. Good work, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Well done. This is great news. So these cases always, certainly hit me when I look and I realize that there was a time where you did what we want you to do, and you pay your tickets and you go in and you are ready to get your license and you think everything's all set, and the Secretary of State tells you no. And the disappointment and devastation, and that's really the worst part about this law, is that nobody knows about it until they think they're about to get their license.
Yep.
And for you to stick with it, for you to follow this through all the way to the end, inspirational. Congratulations, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, so he had pled to allowing a licensed person to drive. I delayed all fines and costs so that I could reduce them. Any comments, Ms. Chappelle?
Way to go, Mr. Johnson. Really happy for you and enjoy it.
All right, Mr. Johnson, you get the last word, or anything you'd like to say before this court imposes sentence?
No, sir. I just appreciate, giving me the time and, efforts to correct this best I could. Like you said, that law that's in place, I could not get or obtain a license, not even a temporary anything, because of the law.
Well, just to give you a bit of a heads up, we are pushing on that, Mr. Johnson, and there's a House bill that would strike that language so that nobody would have to go through what you had to go through, Mr. Johnson. It's through the House, it's to the Senate right now. We have our amazing local senator who's actually watching right now this whole proceeding, and sees they can certainly see the power of good that can occur from this. But Mr. Johnson, thanks for all the work you did and never giving up. It's
Yes,
the order
sir.
of this court. The maximum fine on the allowing is $500. I will set it at $25. The maximum court costs are $500. I'll set that at 0. The state of Michigan costs, they are what they are. I can't get around that, but that's 125. So the grand total is 150. But you know me well enough, Mr. Johnson, to know that I'll stretch that out as long as you need me to. If I give
Thank you.
So but what I want you to do is, Ms. Chappelle, you can get them a number for collections. And think about it this week. So take the week to think about it. Call them next week. Some people like to say, if you give me month to month, that'll help. That's fine. Or some people say, Judge, give me 90 days and I'll get the whole thing done. However you want to do it, Mr. Johnson's fine with me. Ms. Chappelle will give you the number to call. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Congratulations. Happy New Year. Safe
You
driving.
too. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Take care.
Take care, Terrence.
Yep.
All right. Tiarra Boyd.
I'm here.
Hi, Miss Boyd.
Hi.
All right. 2018-00668, Tiarra Boyd.
John Angat appearing on behalf of Tiarra Boyd. There you are. Hey, Tiarra. So Tiarra's trying to fool us all today, Judge. I gave her a call thinking that she's got a lot of work to do and there are problems in another stage. So what are you talking about? I got my permit. My road test is on Saturday. So she's way ahead of the game.
Yeah, it was so there was there's just some notification related to some challenges that were happening out of I think North Carolina or something like that. But it wasn't in our state, and it didn't say that her license was suspended or revoked in our state. So I thought there would potentially be an opportunity if she would just go in and have a conversation. And so, Miss Boyd, give me the update. How'd it go?
About which part?
About you getting a permit.
Listen, because after I got cleared of all my tickets, they had one more ticket for no insurance, which I paid off. And I went on the 8th to get my permit and I passed like the first time. Oh my God. I really went in.
Tell the judge the question that you told me about. I totally agree with you about the fog.
Yeah, right. This question said,
we're all going to learn here.
when driving in the fog, do you use your high beams or low beams? I picked high beams, but really the answer is low beams.
That's
there
right.
we go.
That's
I was
right.
on board with you. Put the high beams on and
now all of
Right,
us know.
we want to see.
Know. So, Miss Boyd, when is your driver's test?
This Saturday at 10 o'clock.
Okay, so let's do. So, one of the reasons that we do the virtual court the way that we do is so that people could go to work and jump out on a break and save them from having to drive to court. Next Thursday, do you think you can make time for us to jump in after you pass your test?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't want to set it out for an extended period of time. Let's strike while the iron's hot. Let's get this done. The only thing is that Judge Kolakowski, who's also here, we bounce back and forth on Thursday afternoons. So he's kind of nice too. So you'll
get to swoop in for the celebration. I love this when I can just swoop in, celebrate. That's great.
All right. So, but you're good on parallel parking, right?
Yes.
Is there no op drive next week, Ms. Chappelle?
There's no op drive next week.
Why is there no op drive next week? So it's
What's that mean?
So it'll be me. So you'll be back with me. So all right. Sorry, Judge K. It'll be me. So
it's gonna be 2 weeks.
It'll be 2 weeks then. All right. So I'll adjourn this for 2 weeks. And so you're good on parallel parking. You're good to go for the test, for the road test.
Yes.
Feeling confident.
Yes.
Okay.
Judge, I almost always ask when it gets down to the road test, are you feeling confident? But with Tiarra, she's just kind of a walking tower of confidence. So I didn't even want to embarrass myself with that question.
All right.
She'll be great.
And I want to make sure. So, all right. So it was Boyd your previous name? Is it now Mahan? Am I saying, is it?
Yes.
Okay. So.
It's Mahan. Sorry.
It's pronounced Mahan?
Yes.
Okay. Mahan. Okay. All right. So I will bump this out 2 weeks. She'll take her road test. I'll reduce her fines and costs. We'll all be in a great mood that day. I'll set this at 1:31. That tells us it's Zoom. Miss Boyd, good luck. You got this.
Nail it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're definitely welcome. All right. Mr. Robbins, Jamar Robbins.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Robbins, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear.
All right. So let's see here. Mr. Robbins, is that yours, Ms. Chappelli, or Mr.
Yes,
Angat?
Your Honor, it is.
Okay. What's our update here?
Well, Judge, it looks like there's a revocation. There's no alcohol or drug priors. It's a revocation, I think, due to the driving record and perhaps a failure to appear at a re-exam. But Mr. Robbins indicated to me that he does not believe he's eligible until December of 24.
No, because these are some of the realities that we run across here in the program, because, you know, it is true. Mr. Robbins didn't have a revocation for drunk driving or, you know, or fleeing, eluding, or some of the driving related felonies. He just had accumulated a number of points, such that he then had to go in for a re-examination, and he missed the re-examination. And so they put a revocation in place. And then when you went in and pled to the speeding ticket out of the 36th, that's going to extend his revocation. The only thing is, Judge K, do you know if there's on a failure to show up for a re-examination, is that a particular time frame revocation? Because it doesn't, as opposed to, like, if you have 2 drunk drivings, it's a 1-year revocation, you know, or 3 drunk drivings is a 5-year. This just simply said violation of license restriction, effect revoked, and effective from July 3rd, 2021.
And it's open-ended?
It's open-ended.
So it would depend on whether or not that was the first or second time that he missed that re-exam. And if I think you get 3 within it's either 12 or 24 months, 3 of them that you can appear for. So he may be able to schedule one now. It's probably worth a phone call to see if he could get one.
Did you try to make a phone call at all, Mr. Robbins?
Yes, I tried to make a couple phone calls, and he said I can try to appeal it or just wait until the time frame up.
Okay, so
All
go
right.
ahead, Mr. Judge K. What do you?
Well, I was gonna. I thought that when did that revocation? When did you miss the revocation, the re-exam?
I think October, but I called in before that. Before they said I missed it. I called and asked for a date. They said there was no date scheduled. Then when I called 2 weeks after, they said I missed my hearing. I never got no paper or nothing saying I had a date. So that's why I was confused. They keep saying I missed it. I never got no paper or nothing.
If you still are eligible for an appeal on that kind of a situation, it may be worth it to see if you can at least get yourself clear of the revocation and into a status where they might restrict your license to a certain, you know, circumference of where you're allowed to go, or certain reasons for restricted driving. I would say that's instead of just waiting on this dead time, let's pursue that.
So here's the I guess the number one message that I have to reinforce to you, though, Mr. Robbins. We cannot help you if you keep driving, and particularly if you keep driving and picking up speeding tickets. There's nothing we can do, because what happens then is that, you know, we can't possibly stand by you and say you should be safely allowed on the road. And so I know it's easy for me to say and hard for you to live because of the challenges of public transportation and all that kind of stuff. But every time you drive, you put yourself at risk of picking up a ticket. Every time you drive and you're speeding, that's even worse. So I do agree with Judge K. It's at least worth making the phone call, seeing about the appeal, because that is a extremely long revocation period, all the way till December of, did you say, Ms. Chappelli, just say December of 2024?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that's still workable. I mean, we've had to wait for an extended period of time and just continue to monitor it. But I would think that it's at least worth following up for the phone call, and maybe Tammy, maybe we can call and just see, you know, further what his options are. But in the meantime, Mr. Robbins, like I said, you know, if we have another ticket, then really this program won't be for you, and we're going to have to go forward with a sentencing. And I can't give you the reduced fines and costs. So in the meantime, we all have action items. You go out, make a phone call, find out what you can find out. We'll find out what we can find out. And while we're doing all that, don't drive. All right.
Yes.
Got it?
Yeah.
All right, so I will, just so that we can stay on top of this, I'm just gonna adjourn this for 45 days. We previously, had adjourned it for longer than that, but I'm just gonna bump it for 45 days. And we'll all do our homework and come back together and compare notes, okay?
All right.
All right, hang in there, Mr. Robbins.
Mm.
All right, let's see here. Tory Canard. Tory Canard. Not yet. Mr. Hurling. Mr. Hurling, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. 23-01-055, Michael Hurling.
Your Honor, Elizabeth Chappelli on behalf of Mr. Hurling. Judge, we had a few showing up out of no proof showing up out of Detroit. I checked the website, everything was zeroed out. So I don't know why that's showing up on the driving record. It doesn't show that he owes anything. He's aware of
Allen Park.
Yeah. So he was going to call Detroit. I don't know, Mr. Hurling, I think you're at work right now. Did you have a chance to call them?
You talk about Allen Park or Detroit?
Detroit.
I did not get a chance to call him.
You know what? Why don't we do it this way? If you're showing a zero balance, Ms. Chappelli, that means, so Mr. Hurling, did you pay Detroit?
I actually went through a program with them as well that
Yes,
pretty much
coach
paid for my
restoration.
tickets.
So here's my guess. What might have happened, those cases might have been dismissed, but the Secretary of State was never notified by the 36th district that those cases were dismissed. So the suspensions are just hanging out there, which we've seen happen from time to time for a number of different courts. It's just the Secretary of State can't lift the suspension until they hear from the court that they're supposed to. And so, Mr. Hurling, what I would suggest at this point in time, I want you to stay in touch with Ms. Chappelli. Your job, get a hold of Allen Park, find out what you owe there. Tammy, if we could call the 36th District Court and find out on the 3 no proof of insurance, let's find out if there is some other reason we don't know about why those suspensions are still in place, because it looks like there are zero balances. So like if Mr. Hurling showed up to pay money, they would see zero, nothing to pay. So it must just simply be some notification process that has to take place. So Mr. Hurling, your focus is on Allen Park. Deal?
Yeah, deal.
Okay. And then once you get done talking to Allen Park, call Ms. Chappelli and hopefully we'll have an answer on the 36th. Got it?
Okay, I can do that.
All right. So I'm going to bump this out for now, 60 days to buy us some time to get this work done. And you get back to work, Mr. Hurling. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Miss Duncan. (2019-02-597).
Your Honor, Elizabeth Chappelli for Miss Duncan. Judge, the number that we have on the ROA, I think Miss Duncan did you get a new phone or a new phone number.
Okay.
Miss Duncan?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can. Did you get a new phone number?
Yeah, I don't know who I sent it to one of you, the 248-773-2782.
Okay, that might have been Mr. Engat. But in any event, we'll get that number from him. The update, Judge, is she is state ID holder and listed as not valid.
Right. So Miss Duncan and I have been at this for a while, but I have to feel like we're pretty close right now, aren't we, Miss Duncan?
Yep. I went to Secretary of State and they I have $125 reinstatement fee, but they said I still have to wait until April, I think it's April 14th.
That's what I've got. Right. That's what I see.
Yeah.
I see April 14th. That's where I see that we're at. But so I save up the money for April 14th. So you can walk right in there. So you got the 125. Do you have all you're a valid state ID holder, so I would imagine that you have birth certificate, all that kind of stuff that you need, proofs of residency, all of that.
Yeah.
So we just got to make sure that you're ready to take the written test. And so Ms. Chappelli, let's just make sure, Ms. Duncan, I don't, can you?
I want to chat it. I don't know that we have the most recent number.
Let me see. I think I have Miss Chappelli. I think this is you that I was texting.
I called that number that we have, and someone named Angel said she had the new phone number. I don't know if that rings.
Yep.
So
are you
I
the
just
248-310?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep, I got you. So I'm about to. I can text you my number now.
Okay, great.
cool. Can you text her that number? That'd be perfect.
Yep.
Because what I'm going to want to do, Miss Duncan, is, well, no matter what, I do want you to pay attention to see if that law changes anytime before April. Because if it does, then obviously you're eligible before April. But the worst case scenario, we got April.
Yes.
So I will adjourn this 90 days. That'll take us past after April 14th. I'll adjourn this 90 days. And then before then, though, Ms. Chappelli, if we could get her the information about the practice tests, because I want her to take this written test one time and one time only. So I want her to have it be totally prepared for it.
Yeah.
And then, Ms. Duncan, then you'll have the permit for 30 days, and then you'll be able to get your full license.
Okay.
I hope you know how much respect I have for you, Ms. Duncan. You stuck with me and this program for so long, and I could just the end is near. All right, the goal line is in sight. Okay.
Yes.
If the Lions can host a playoff game, you can get a license.
Yeah. It's
So,
been a long 5 years.
you know, and my frustration over the state of the law and how someone like you who's deserved to have a license for a couple years, I can't let that hang me up, and just let's focus on that, which is positive, that you're still in a perfect position to make this happen.
Yeah.
So I'll see you back here after April 14th. We'll get you the practice tests. Good luck, Ms. Duncan.
Okay. Thank you.
Take care.
You too.
Well, that was quick.
Oh, hold on. I gotta hang up.
That was quick. We are quick.
Quick.
So that was quick. All right. Hold on one second. I got to grab a couple files. Just bear with. All right. So under Jacobe, who do I have under Jacobe? Just got to unmute.
Ain't got.
Yeah. I just need your full name, sir.
Jacobe Brown.
All right. This case number 22-01645. Jacobe Brown.
Ready, Judge. John Angat appearing on behalf of Jacobe Brown. Hey, Jacobe.
All right.
So, Judge,
go ahead.
He's got just a couple things to clean up. He's got no proof, 2 of them in 36 and 1 in Roseville and 1 in East Point. So, unfortunately, his license expired in 2019. So the 4 years just passed last month, right, Jacobe?
Yeah, December 24th.
Yeah. So I told him he's once he clears these things up, which is now just a money game, he's going to have to retake the written and road test, but we'll get you through that part.
But at least he's not stuck with the requirements on the 303G. He's had a license before.
He had a license before, so he's good to go once he can fund the courts and what they want from him.
So my best advice on that, Mr. Brown, is you just got to try to focus on one court at a time. You know, it's like
Okay.
it's the old saying, you know, like how do you sit down and eat an elephant one bite at a time? All right. There's no other way to do it. Okay. So, you know, whether it's you focus on Roseville first or East Point first or Hazel Park or 36, whatever it is, pick one. All right. And you attack that one, you get it done, and you move on to the next one. I'm not going anywhere, Mr. Brown, nor am I tapping on your shoulder looking for money right now either. My job, I feel, is to give you that gentle push all along the way so that this thing that looked like it wasn't possible can actually happen. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you've checked in with us today. We got a good update. So like I said, you know, you might even want to call around.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you for. Can I get a list of those places?
Yeah, ready?
Yep.
So it's going to be Roseville,
Roseville,
East Point,
East Point,
and 36th.
36th District.
And I don't know, when you went to Hazel Park, did you pay off all their tickets or no?
No, I got
Okay.
a payment plan.
All right. So stay on your Hazel Park payment plan and then call up one of those other three. And actually, I'd call all three and just find out what the balances are. And then, and maybe pick the lowest one and knock that one out first.
Okay.
Okay. But for me, just all I need is progress. That's all. And we're making progress. I'll adjourn this 90 days and just come back to me with an update. All right. Good luck.
Thank you. If I get those paid before then, should I contact Mr. Angot?
Yeah, give me a call, text me, whatever you got to do. We'll get you on the next deck.
I would say call him, just give him updates, text him whenever you've got one paid, you know, but if you pay them all, give him a call.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, man. Take care.
You too.
Mr. Bell, are you there? I'm going to call Bell, then Ford. Bell, then Ford.
Yes, sir. Here.
All right. Let's see here. Xavier Bell, 23011140.
Your Honor, Elizabeth Chappelle for Mr. Bell. Hi, Xavier. Judge, he is right on the fence of 303G. There was a no proof in 2022. He needs to get to Warren to take care of that. It may or may not be attached to a misdemeanor, but a lot of times, like Mr. Angot finds out, it's a civil infraction. So that may be good news. Other than that, he already has his written test set for next week. And I said, that's awesome, but you just got to take care of Warren first, unless you see anything else in the last 3 years.
No, Mr. Bell and I had the conversation together last time, you know, and I said we were right on the edge. And so I'm really fired up that you already signed up for your written test. I'm real pleased for that, Mr. Bell. But when you go in there to take the written test, they stop you and say, hey, what about that Warren ticket? And so, Tammy, can we call over to Warren and find out if this is a misdemeanor that he have to show up for court in, or if it's something that he could just pay online? Is there any way you can look that up for me, Tammy?
Yes, that's for Mr. Bell, you said?
Mr. Bell, Mr. Xavier Bell. All right, so Mr. Bell, hang tight for just a minute. We're going to make a phone call over to Warren to try to see if we can get an answer for you right now, okay?
Okay, yes, sir.
All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and go back on mute for a minute, and I will I'll call another case, but we'll make that phone call.
Okay.
Brandon Ford.
Right here.
All right, Mr. Ford. Hold on one second. There you are. All right, 23-00685, Brandon Ford.
Your Honor, Elizabeth Chappelle for Mr. Ford. Not sure if this was up last with you or Judge K, but Mr. Ford was really anxious to take the written right after the road, but he did have to wait the 30. But he had a huge change in his life last January 5th at 6 a.m. in the morning. Little baby was born. Mr. Ford is a new father.
Oh, congratulations,
And
Mr.
I
Ford.
think he's
Thank
taking care of the baby today.
We gotta be
So
quiet.
he had
Quiet,
right,
Mr.
right.
Belly.
He had anticipated taking the road test by the 8th, but that didn't happen. So we just need a tiny bit more.
Okay, so Mr. Ford, how long do you think you'll need to take the road test?
Like 3 days, 3-4 days.
Okay, so I'll bump this out 2 weeks because we don't have a session next Thursday. So we'll bump it out 2 weeks and you log in and we'll celebrate that license. But we'll all keep nice and quiet today. What's so little boy, little girl?
Boy,
Name?
Braylon.
Braylon?
Yes.
Braylon. You know what I love most about these moments, Mr. Ford, is Braylon is never going to know a day where his dad didn't have a license. Like wherever he needs to go, whatever he needs to do. And trust me on this one, they need to go lots of places because they have lots of things they want to do. Okay. But you're going to be able to do that for him and be there for him in that way. That's fantastic. So I'll bump this 2 weeks and get your rest. If he's sleeping, you better be sleeping too.
You don't sleep a lot.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You will in about 10-15 years. You'll catch up again in your sleep. All right. So hang in there, Mr. Ford, but we'll see you in 2 weeks. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
You too.
All right. So we're going to bump that out 2 weeks. Okay. Hold on one second. All right. Tory Canard.
Ready, Judge.
For some reason, Canard is not.
I'm here.
There we go. All right, good. Okay, thank goodness. Okay. Actually, this was one of Judge K's back in October. He said, defendant has completed all terms except fine, and there was because this was a unique situation because it was a 771. He could keep this charge off of his record. And there was a balance. Where do we stand on the balance, Mr. Canard?
No, I've yet to pay it.
Okay. So what's the timetable on that, Mr. Canard?
Can you remind me how much it is?
This one was $200.
Okay, can I just have like 60 days?
Mr. Canard, I'm happy to give you the 60 days. You went out and got your valid license. And what's unique about this one is you're getting the case dismissed. The actual charge was, I think, an interfering charge. And that case is going to get dismissed. But in order to process the dismissal, we actually have to have all terms completed, and that includes the fine. Normally, I could just sentence you and give you a payment plan, but this one, in order to get the dismissal, we got to get the fine taken care of. So you think you can get it done in 60 days?
Yeah, I know I can. In
Okay.
60 days. All
right. And I'm very pleased to see that once you got that license, you've hung on to it, you've made something of it, and I'm hopeful, Mr. Canard, we can then finish this off with a valid license, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I'll adjourn this 60 days. If Mr. Canard pays. Close file and dismiss under 771.1. All right, so we'll send you notice. See you back here in about 60 days. Good luck.
Thank you.
I have the information for Bell.
Perfect. Okay, so Miss Bonet, what do we know about Bell? Mr. Bell, jump on in back again, please. 23011140.
Yes, sir.
I called Warren. It is a payable, and it's 264.
You don't even need to step foot in court.
Great news.
Sure.
Okay, so basically what needs to happen is, but before you go in to take your written test, you got to pay that 264, okay? And once that's taken care of, then that should lift the suspension, and then you'll be in a perfect position to go and take your written test. If you need a little bit more time to pay the 264, then obviously you might have to delay the test, because if you go in with the suspension, they'll turn you down. But Mr. Bell, I'm a big fan of strike while the iron's hot. Now you know the number. Now you know you don't even have to go see a judge. Let's just get it done, right?
Yes, sir. Definitely. Yeah, I've like my birthday's right around the corner. I'm studying the test right now.
This is awesome. And you have a good line of communication with them, by the way?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So let's walk through so if he takes it next week, he'll be on a permit for 30 days, and then he'll have his full license. So let's just bump this out 45 days. He should be having a full license by then.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Definitely.
I am thoroughly impressed. I mean, the responsibility that you've shown from when I talked to you in October, I just dropped a bunch of information on you. You know, your birthday's coming up, and you're going to be 19, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. The fact that you put this all together, you're ready to take care of that fine, you're studying for the test. I mean, I wish that I was that determined when I was 19 years old. So Mr. Bell, this bodes well, not just for getting your license, but for whatever else you want to do. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'll see you back here in 45 days, and we'll send out notice. Good luck on that test.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
All right. I have the next group that we're going to be bringing in. Thank you, Tammy.
You're welcome.
Hello? Hello?
Yep. Hold on one second, sir. We just brought in a bunch of people, so we got to check everybody in. So just hang tight, okay?
No problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Mr. Nasani, which file you here on with me today? Do you know?
Miguel Zelaya Zuniga at 2, and then at 3:30 Nelson Franco.
Okay, I see Mr. Franco is here, so we'll be ready on that one. Do I have Miguel Zelaya Zuniga here?
Judge, we didn't have a number for him, so we've not made contact.
Okay, so let's just hang tight on that one for a minute, okay? I have two individuals on phones. So on the phone number ending in 9557, who is this?
This would be Glenn Jacobs, Your Honor.
Glenn Jacobs. And then on the 5752, who do we have?
John Clark.
John Clark?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so everybody hang tight for just a moment. Let me call first People versus Howard.
Yes, sir. Sorry about
that. O'Shea Howard.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Howard, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Your Honor, Elizabeth Chappelle for Mr. Howard. Judge, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like he just needs to, he needed to verify if the substance abuse evaluation is necessary, and it apparently is. So I did send him form DA-4P so that he could start that process.
Well, and the nice thing is that Mr. Howard's convictions were never for
Exactly.
substance. So my hope is that this process goes smoother for him because there won't be the, like, they won't have the significant substance or alcohol thing that they have to overcome. That's
Right.
not why Mr. Howard's license was revoked. It was for other issues. So I'm hopeful on this one. I'm sorry that you have to go through that, Mr. Howard, but at the same point in time, at least we know what you need to do. And Ms. Chappelle can sort of direct you to different attorneys and resources to try to streamline that. At least we know.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
So
step forward. So
it is. It
and,
is.
And not only that, Judge, you know, he's been working at Tim Hortons for 7 years, and there was a little bit of cutting the hours, but he picked up another job. So he's just really motivated, positive, and it's a go-getter. So I don't anticipate he'll need a ton of time to accomplish this.
You know, one thing that I've learned about Mr. Howard, you know, we've been working together for a long time, is, you know, he's gaining I feel like he's gaining confidence even in the situation that he's been in, because he's been through tough times. He's been through dark times, you know, financial hardship, family loss. He's seen it all. And now his response to negative situations is so much more productive. Like you just said, hours cut. Okay, let me go get another job. Like, instead of poor me and sort of giving up. Sorry. He just continues to move forward. And so if there's anybody that I believe who can overcome this last hurdle and get his license back, it's Mr. Howard for sure. So I'm just going to bump this out. But please do me a favor, Mr. Howard, stay in touch. In the meantime, even though you and I don't see each other as frequently, because I want to give you time to maneuver, don't, sort of don't put this on the side. Keep talking to Ms. Chappelle, keep giving her updates about, meeting with different specialty attorneys, all that kind of stuff, so that we can have an understanding about, okay, when do we think this is going to happen? Okay.
yes, sure.
All right. So I'll bump this out 120 days and we'll send notice. And good luck, Mr. Howard. Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy New Year to you. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Right.
All right, Dwan Sims.
Yes, yes, Your Honor. Yes.
All right. I'm gonna go Sims, then Phillips, then Landmesser. We're gonna keep going from there. Sims. Okay. Dwan Sims, 23-01-322.
Yes.
Ready, Judge. John Ann got a pretty behalf of Dwan Sims. Hey, Dwan, how you doing?
Hello, sir.
Excuse me, Judge. And Dwan, we don't have a number for you, so if we could maybe chat that to get it in the file. I wasn't able to contact them.
So don't, whoa, hold on. We want to protect your privacy because we're on the record. So I'm going to send you a chat and then you chat it back to me and then I'll send the number to the attorney. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Judge, just to and keep it going, Dwan is a 303G with no suspensions on his record. So I don't know the path if it's clear right now.
He could make an appointment with the Secretary of State today if he wants to.
Perfect.
There's nothing that I see on his driving record. I mean, there's nothing on it. He had a ticket from Ferndale in 2011. So that's long since gone. Mr. Sims, whenever he wants, can make a Secretary of State appointment and get that license. So what's going to happen from here, Mr. Sims, is I'm going to get your phone number to the attorney. He's going to text you and he's going to give you information about how to be prepared to take a written test. Okay.
Okay.
And then if you have questions, for example, like what do I need to bring, all that kind of stuff, you'll text him back and then we set up the appointment. And and you do you accept texts on this, by the way?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to adjourn this out 60 days to give you time to get this done. So once you take the written test and pass it, then it'll take 30 days for you to be on a permit, and then you can take a road test after that. Okay.
All right.
All right, let's go, Mr. Sims. Waited long enough. Let's make it happen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Get it done,
You're welcome,
man.
Mr. Sims. Let's get it done. Take care.
All right.
Okay, Mary Phillips.
Yep.
All right, case number 23-00343.
Your Honor, Elizabeth Chappelle for Miss Phillips. This is a great day for Miss Phillips. I'm really excited for her because she got herself a full and valid license. Congratulations.
Oh, Miss Phillips, good job. Well done.
Thank
What was
you.
What was it like to get your license back? Were you surprised?
I guess, yeah.
It had to be such a nice moment, and I try to explain to people, like, especially those individuals that have their licenses, like you don't know how hard all of this is if you don't have your license, and how much it means to get it back if you were missing it at all. So I'm excited that you were able to get this done. Ms. Chappelle, is there anything that you'd like to say on her behalf before the court imposes sentence?
Just congratulations, Miss Phillips. I'm really happy for your progress, and all of it goes toward your hard work. So
Thank
good
you.
job.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Phillips, you get the last word. Anything you want to say before this court imposes sentence?
No, thank you very much for being lenient and taking the time for me.
You're welcome, ma'am. All right. So on the allowing a licensed person to drive, there had been a $75 fee that had been assessed. Looks like there was a warrant that was previously issued. I will waive that warrant fee. And let's just stick with the low fines and costs that I normally assess on this. So the max fine, 500, I'll set it at 25. I'll waive all court costs. The state of Michigan costs are 125. So that total is 150. There, you'd also put to impeding traffic. That one is 175. So the total is 325. But of course, I'm authorizing a long-term payment plan. Fines and costs need to be paid, but I recognize that they should be done so in a way that doesn't break people. So Ms. Chappelle is going to text you a phone number to call. And you don't even have to call them tomorrow. They won't even get the file probably until Monday. Call that department, and it's our collections department. And over the weekend, think about how you'd like to pay it. Some people say, just give me 90 days and I'll pay the whole balance. Some people say, if I could pay $50 out of the month, whatever you think, Miss Phillips, is fine with me.
Okay. Thank you.
Congratulations again. Good luck. Safe driving.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Landmesser, 22-01-457.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Elizabeth Chappelle for Mr. Landmesser. Hi, sir. So, Judge, we're kind of confused. It looks like it was reinstatement fee only that was due. Did you check into that again, Mr. Landmesser?
Yeah, it was the city of Redford. I was on a payment plan, but I missed 2 payments, and they reissued when I talked to the lady the hold on the license until I can come back in and put a down payment and get back on their payment plan.
Okay.
Well, it's so interesting because I'm not. All right, so I'm looking at it. So if they did that, Mr. Landmesser, if they put that back in place, I would expect to see suspended at the top of your driver record. But what I see is not valid. And usually when I see not valid, that tells me that there's just an SOS reinstatement fee that needs to be paid. So when I look at your record that we ran on January 4th, and that doesn't mean that I'm saying don't pay Redford if you owe them money. But I don't see a suspension out of Redford. What I see is the Farmington Hills ticket that you pled last July. The Secretary of State, as a result of that, suspended your license for 30 days, but that suspension ended on September 8th. And so basically from what I see, you just need to go in and pay the $125 reinstatement fee and you should be good to go.
Well, I was a little confused, so I called. Maybe I just need to go into the office. But I was a little confused too because I got a thing from Redford. But I can go into the office and just see, it won't hurt to try.
Well,
I was a little confused.
So when did you call about Redford? Because my driving record is it's a week old. Have you talked to Redford in the last week?
No, I called Redford a little before Christmas, Your Honor.
No, they're not showing as a suspension. So I would make your appointment with the Secretary of State, get in there, pay the $125 reinstatement fee, and go from there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
But it doesn't hurt though to follow up with Redford because eventually they could, if you owe them a balance and you don't ever pay it, they could reinstate your suspension. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I think you should be good though, Mr. Landmesser. I'll adjourn this for another, I think 30 days. It'll be done. So will you have the 125 in the next 30 days to get this done?
Sure, Your Honor. It's been a little difficult at Macy's. They didn't give overtime this holiday season. So like the other gentleman, I had to pick up a second job to kind of make up the difference. So
I'll do it 60 days just in case. If you get done sooner, we can always bring you in sooner. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck, sir.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
Glenn Jacobs, and then
yes,
Mr.
Your
Crum.
Honor, I am here.
Okay, so Mr. Jacobs.
I am here, Your Honor.
I did. Okay, so 22-01-538, Glenn Andrew Jacobs.
Your Honor, Elizabeth Chappelle for Mr. Jacobs. We did speak on the phone. He is in the process of working with an attorney regarding getting his license restored. So he is in that mindset. He has his laundry list of things to do with that attorney. So at this point, we'd be asking for more time.
No problem. I'm excited to hear that he's actively engaged with an attorney. It's time, Mr. Jacobs. It's time, right?
You got that right, Your Honor. I just wish I was working more. I'm working with the neighbor, cutting grass and working on his equipment, and I mean, you can look outside and see we haven't had much to do lately. So, and I'm trying to pay off the lawyer bill, which is, up there.
And it's and it's to be fair, it's a challenge that attorney. You do need you often need an expert to sort of try to navigate and be able to explain the changes that you've made in your life. And we want, and frankly, you only want to try to do this once. And so, and so I appreciate the way that you are slowly but surely working to get that bill taken care of and put yourself in a position to get your license. So I'll give him more time. That's not a problem. I'll bump this out 4 months and I'll hope, it's you and my daughter that are rooting for snow. So I'll do that as well, Mr. Jacobs, and root for plenty of snow so that you get work and that my daughter gets snow days.
There you go.
All right. Take care, Mr. Jacobs.
I appreciate it, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Take care.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right. Shadana Crum, 2200-214.
Your Honor, Elizabeth Chappelle on behalf of Shadana Crum. Judge, in this matter, she is a state ID holder. We have one suspension out of Detroit for no proof of insurance, which is a payable. Just want to make sure there's nothing else in the last 3 years.
Okay, so
Hey.
Hi, Ms. Crum.
Ms. Crum, how are you?
I'm fine. I had a hard time trying to get Zoom on my Android.
But you made it, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how we still got it. So
yes, I had to get it with some Wi-Fi.
So for Miss Crum, if you remember, so her original, when she pled back in April of 22, she had pled to allowing, but also to a speeding ticket. And that speeding ticket was one of the two convictions that was holding her up under 303G. So then we referred it back to the prosecutor and said, hey, we had consider not giving her the speeding ticket. And he said, sure, if she takes a traffic class. And sure enough, Ms. Crum took that traffic class. Okay. So that charge was gone. The problem that we're running into is we have the speeding ticket out of Detroit that she pled to this year. So she had, or it's not speeding. It was looks like it was either a running a red light or a stop sign ticket from July of 23, this past summer.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So that puts us in a bit of a bind because the summer before in June, you had that speeding ticket. And so out of Detroit. So what we end up having happen now is, we had the speeding ticket in Royal Oak and the speeding ticket in Detroit. We got rid of the speeding ticket in Royal Oak and you took the traffic class, but then we got that stop sign ticket. So we're still looking at a June of 25 eligibility date. We took care of one and then another one came along.
Yes.
So that's the issue that we're running into. Okay. So,
okay.
But hold on 1 second for me real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Are those tickets out of Detroit paid in full?
Yes, it is. I got my motion when I got the warrants and tickets taken off of me. And then I went to that driving rehab That driving rehab class, level 1. I got my certificate.
Was that for
I
Detroit or
paid
for us?
It was a driving ticket for 36th district. You know that one ticket that they left me with when they took the warrants and tickets off me?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. I got my certificate. I paid for the driver rehab, and that was $75 plus 4, which was $79. Then I had that one ticket for Detroit when they cleared everything and I got that motion.
Yeah.
I paid that ticket. I paid that. That was a non insurance, like no insurance or something like that. Yeah. So I have my motion and I have my certificate. I have my certificate for completing the driving program, level 1.
Yeah. So Miss Crum, so we have. So I was able to get, and the city attorney was in this. So let's start jurisdiction by jurisdiction, city by city. Okay. So in Royal Oak, you had a speeding ticket, and in Detroit you had a speeding ticket. So those
that was on my birthday with Royal Oaks. That was February the 10th. What, that was 2020 or 2021?
22.
22.
Right. But we worked out a deal with the prosecutor and they reduced that to a ticket that's not on your record anymore. So the Royal Oak ticket for speeding is not on your record anymore. The only thing that's left in Royal Oak is what you have with me, and that's the allowing unlicensed person to drive, that I haven't put any fines and costs on you yet, and I don't want you to make any payments yet. Okay.
Okay.
So then the major issue is Detroit. So did you ever do a traffic class for Detroit?
No, I didn't. But Secretary of State ended up sending me a letter saying that, oh, this about you. This a Royal Oaks.
Yeah, that's the one you did for me. That was for me.
Yeah, this for you. So if I just got one, what, in 2022 or 2021, I haven't did anything for 36th district. The only thing I did was for the motion. When I had the tickets and warrants took off me when I went to Durfee.
Yep.
On Colin Woods with Mr. Keith when he supported me in court. That's the only thing I did for 36th district from Detroit.
Okay, so that's where our next stop is, to try to figure out what we can do. So Ms. Crum, Ms. Chappelli, what we'll want to try to do is figure out first, does she owe any money there? Okay. And if she doesn't owe any money there, then we'll have to do the same type of approach that we did in Royal Oak, which is, you know, if she does a traffic class, if she does something, would they be willing to reduce one of the speeding tickets?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Crum, so right now, if you went into the Secretary of State, they'd see the 2 speeding tickets the stop sign or stoplight ticket. It's either stop sign or stoplight ticket from this past summer. And they'll see the speeding from Detroit from the year before. And they would say, you got 2 within 3 years. You can't have a license until 2025. Okay.
Okay.
So we got 2 plans of attack here, though. Okay. One, we need to find out if you owe money there. And if you still owe money there, we got to pay off our balance there and then try to see if they'll consider an adjustment with the ticket. Okay.
Yes.
That's plan A. All right.
Okay.
Plan B, which is sort of a general plan for everybody that has to deal with this, is that there's a law that we're trying to put into effect that would get rid of this 2 within 3 nonsense, and you'd be eligible right away. Now that law has to go through the House, it has to go through the Senate, it has to go through the governor. Okay. It's already through the House. And so now it's in front of the Senate. So we got a chance. So here's our 3 different points. Okay. One, worst case scenario, you'll get your license in 2025, June of 2025. Okay. If we can get this, if we could get the court to work with us, then we could get it sometime before 2025. Or if the law changes, we can get it sometime before 2025. So we do have options here, Ms. Crum. The key is don't drive anymore. That'll just push us back. Okay. And then make sure you've connected with Ms. Chappelli about whether there's a balance or not. Okay.
Yes. Can I find out at the Secretary of State when I get that fact sheet?
I don't know that if you could, I don't know you could find out a balance at the 36th district, but Miss Chappelli you could actually look it up online. If you
Yes.
literally Google 36th district court case
And
lookup,
put in my
put
information,
in your
it'll pop up.
information and it'll show you everything you owe.
Okay.
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 So we just got to we're just an information gathering then, Miss Chappelli.
Okay.
Let me know if she doesn't owe any balance, then we could find out who the judge is down in the 36th district and refer it to that judge and see if they're willing to work with her. Okay.
Will do.
Yes.
Okay, so we got a
Thank
plan.
you.
You have to stay in touch with Miss Chappelli though, okay, Miss Crum?
Okay. I thank y'all so much.
Oh, you're welcome, ma'am. Good luck, okay?
Okay. So I have a question. So if I do have a payment, after that payment, can I get my driver license with my certificate and everything that I showed them with my motion and my certificate?
I don't know, because Detroit would have to be willing to take off one of those tickets. If they're not willing to take off one of those tickets, then we got to get the law changed. Okay.
Okay. Do I have 2 tickets or I have 1?
You have 2 tickets that have hit your record. There are 2 tickets on your record: a disobey a stop sign ticket or traffic light, and a speeding ticket. Those are the 2 that she has. And Miss Chappelli can go over all this with you as well.
Okay. Can you send me information about this, Miss Pelly?
Miss Chappelli?
Of course.
All right.
I thank you so much.
No, just do me a favor, Miss Crum. Don't forget about us. Just keep in touch with Miss Chappelli, okay?
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I thank you so much. Would I get another 30 to 60, 90 days or so when I come back to court? Do I know anything about that update?
Yeah, so I'm gonna adjourn this out 60 to 90 days and we'll send you notice.
Okay. Hopefully everything should be squared away and law have probably changed.
Now that would make me really happy. Fingers crossed, okay?
Okay, I thank y'all so much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, I'm gonna try to bring Mr. Franco back in and see if we can get that done with the interpreter. I was trying to see if we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone, but I don't see Miguel, Zuniga showing up. So I don't want to keep Mr. Nasani here any longer than necessary. So let me grab the Franco file.
Hi, Mr. Nasani.
Hello.
Okay, 23-01033. This is Nelson Franco Lopez.
Your Honor, Elizabeth Chappelli on behalf of Franco. Nelson, is that Rico's phone that he's on?
No, Mr. Nasani, can you call for Mr.
Oh, there he is.
Franco?
There he is.
Te están hablando.
Mr. Franco, are you there? I see.
Señor Franco. Hay que poner el volumen.
I think it looks like a phone left in a car or some truck of some sort. So
I've been communicating with him all morning.
All right, will you try to send him a message again?
I just did.
Okay. Oh, I hear something. Mr. Franco, are you there?
How you doing?
Okay, Mr. Nasani, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to translate the English language into Spanish and Spanish into English without revealing any confidential communication to the best of your ability, so help you God.
I do.
All right, thank you. Mr. Nasani, will you let Mr. Franco know that we've called the case?
Acaban de llamar tu caso, señor Franco.
Okay.
All right, so Ms. Chappelli.
Your Honor, Elizabeth Chappelli for Mr. Franco. We have been in communication about his matter recently, and he has attempted the written test 1 time. It didn't go great, so he's going to reschedule that.
Mr. Nasani.
Sí, hablamos de su caso, yo y él, y sí, él intentó hacer el examen escrito y no lo pasó, pero va a volver a tomarlo otra vez.
El viernes.
Friday, yes.
Friday.
Okay, good. I told him, I said, we need to show the judge progress. So good. I'm glad you got that date.
That's great news. Just out of curiosity, do they offer a written test in Spanish?
Está curioso sobre si se ofrece en español el examen escrito.
Donde fui, estaba en inglés.
It was in English where I went, though.
So they do or they don't offer one?
¿No lo ofrecen en español?
Creo que no, pero voy a ir a otro lado para yo hacer el examen.
He's going to look for a place that does.
Right.
There
I
should
did
be.
send him a practice test in Spanish.
You found a practice test in Spanish, Ms. Chappelle?
I did.
Le mandó un examen en español como de práctica.
Oh. Sí, yo ahorita estoy estudiando así por Google. Todas las
Yeah, he's
preguntas,
looking
pero no
at
sé
it.
si eran
He's
las
looking at
mismas.
it now. And on Google too.
I have to believe there are SOS Secretary of State locations that offer a Spanish language one. There has to be, right?
In Your Honor, I know in Southwest Detroit there is one. That's the only one that I know of. There is a Secretary of State in Southwest Detroit. Last time I heard it
Okay.
in Spanish.
He may have been in Hamtramck. He may need to go to Southwest Detroit.
En el parte hispano de la ciudad de Detroit, el Southwest, hay un Secretary of State donde se ofrece todo en español.
Okay.
So, Mr. Franco, try that out, and I think you'll find better success. It might be easier to manage.
Intenta con eso, señor Franco, y a lo mejor en español tendrás mejor éxito.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'll adjourn this another 60 days to give him some more time.
Thank
Te
you.
va a demorar esto otros 60 días, dándote suficiente tiempo para localizar dónde tomar el examen y eso.
Okay.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Buena suerte, señor.
Good luck.
Okay, igual. Goodbye.
Bye.
You. Your Honor, Mr. Zelaya Zuniga was a no-show last time. Did you already call that case, or should I hang out?
I'll call it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's we always we try to do two before we issue a bench warrant. We try to do a second time to see if we can bring somebody in. So 23-01-201, Miguel Zuniga.
Judge, if I may, John Ann got to bring on behalf of Miguel Zelaya Zuniga. And unfortunately, we do not have a cell number for my client, so I was not able to attempt to contact him.
Well, at this point in time, with multiple failures to appear, I will issue a bench warrant, but I will hold it for 48 hours to see if we hear from Mr. Zelaya Zuniga. Thank you, Mr. Nasani. You're all set for today.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yep.
Eric Ross.
Yes.
Right, Judge. John Ann got to bring on behalf of Eric Ross. Hey, Eric, how you doing?
I'm good. You all right?
Good. Judge Eric, I believe is a 303G. He's got two open suspensions, both no proofs of insurance, one in Pontiac and one in East Point. I don't know the path otherwise.
Sure, let's take a look. All right, so Mr. Ross. So bear with me 1 second. We're looking at disposition dates. So 2013 is no big deal. That's not a problem. 15. One was more helped by the law. All right, so Mr. Ross has East Point in addition to the Pontiac suspension and the East Point suspension, he has convictions from, you know what's interesting here though? So he must have gone in, Mr. Ross, did you go into Pontiac in October and pay a ticket?
October last year?
Oh, no, I see. Was there a ticket you picked up in September in Pontiac for speeding?
Yes.
Okay, and don't worry, you're not gonna get in trouble with me on this, but did you follow through and pay that ticket, or has that ticket not been dealt with yet?
No, I haven't had a chance. When I caught that ticket, I think I had caught that ticket right before I seen you. The last time I seen you before this court date, I think it was 90. You said this court date, I think 90 days out.
I did.
And right after that, we had got laid off due to the Ford strike that was going on. So I just started back working. So I wasn't able to really take care of it right then and there. So that's what I'm in the process of doing now. But yeah, I had caught that right before I seen you.
So, Mr. Ross, so here's the challenge that we're running into, Mr. Angat. One, we can't even start trying to work on his 303G problems until he clears the suspension at East Point and Pontiac. He's got to clear those suspensions. Once he does that, then either the law has changed or we will be able to work with both of those courts. I think we have allies in that we could help with this process. But until Mr. Ross takes care of his East Point ticket, until he takes care of his Pontiac ticket, nobody's going to work with us.
And that's both for the no proof of insurances?
Correct.
Yes. You don't need a court date to pay those. You can typically pay those online in most courts.
So East Point got a warrant out.
So my guess is he also has a misdemeanor attached to it. That's my guess.
They got a $500 warrant. I got to pay $500 to lift the warrant, but I don't know if that goes towards the ticket or would I have to pay the $500 to lift the warrant and still have to pay the ticket?
Well, usually that goes to the ticket. Like if you paid a bond in our court, that bond money will go to the ticket. You still have to show up for your arraignment. You got to show up there, but if they give you fines and costs, they usually would apply the bond to the ticket fines and costs. Okay, so Mr. Ross, then I would suggest start with Pontiac. Try to get that taken care of. Once you get done with Pontiac, call Mr. Angat, and we can even notify, because we know the East Point court administrator pretty well. We can notify him and the judge that you're interested in taking care of your matters there, and maybe they'd be willing to work with you on that bond.
Okay.
So
let's start with Pontiac first.
If I may, Judge, the way there's a new system, Eric, in place with all the, well, not all the courts, but most of the Michigan courts are on the same website now. And so you can Google, what court are we talking about? Roseville? Yeah.
No, East Point.
East Point, I'm sorry. You can Google East Point District Court case lookup, and you can look up your own cases. And I'm looking at it right now, and you can actually pay this no proof of insurance online because it offers that. So it's just a matter of getting online and having the money to do it. And I'm making sure that we have the right charge. Hang on, it's kind of slow.
Okay.
But I'll tell you how much you owe on it. Yeah, no proof insurance. There's a balance. It's $258. When you pull up your case on this website, it has where you see the balance listed. It has a little credit card icon. And you can click on that, and then you fill in what you need to fill in, and you can pay it right online.
And that's for East Point?
That's for East Point. You can do that without having to make a court date.
Okay. So so if I pay that, what about the bond? Would that automatically lift the bond? I mean,
no, it wouldn't do anything but just take that suspension off your record. You'd still have to deal with the court on the other tickets. So that's a civil infraction. The other ticket, you've got the reason you have a bench warrant is one of them is a traffic misdemeanor, and you have to go to court on those.
Okay, so pay the $258 for East Point,
and then I believe 50th has the same website where you can pay online.
Okay.
You got my number, right?
Yeah, I got
You have
your
any
text.
problems? Yeah, just call me and I'll walk you through it if you can't get on these and figure it out.
Okay.
Sorry, Judge. I just wanted to make sure that there is kind of an end around, it looks like, just to get rid of the suspensions at least.
Okay, well, but Mr. Ross, I think at the very least, if you run into any issues with East Point, we may be able to help with that, but I think you, especially since you stay in Pontiac, I think that's the closest one. Let's get to work on that first, okay?
Okay.
All right, and like John said, if you can pay and clear up the suspension out of East Point online, even better, and we can help you try to figure out how to get in there and take care of the warrant, okay?
Okay.
But your job, Pontiac, and try to knock out the ticket out of East Point, and then we can help you with the warrant after that, okay?
Okay, perfect.
All right, Mr. Ross, hang in there. I'll see you in 90 days, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. I've got Rico and Raymon and John Clark. So let me get those all together. Clark. All right, Raymon Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor.
22-01104.
Your Honor, Elizabeth Chappelli, I did reach out to Mr. Johnson, and Mr. Johnson, you had indicated you had retained an attorney. Is that correct?
Correct. He was present at my last court date. I messaged and I called him due to the fact that I was incarcerated for the last 2.5 months on a different matter that he wasn't representing me on, but I haven't heard anything back from him.
Okay, so I don't see him. I've got some people in the waiting room, so I'll bring everybody in from the waiting room. And if he's there, if he's not, if you want, we do have counsel here who would be willing to work with you. But if you've retained counsel, I certainly want you to receive the benefit of the money that you've invested in that person too. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let me call everybody who's in the waiting room and just see if I have. It's Patrick Barry, you said?
Patrick Barry, yes.
Barry, okay. All right, do I have a Patrick Barry here? Patrick Barry? Will you
If he's not present, I don't mind someone that I believe her name Chappelli is not a problem if somebody represents me. I can basically speak for myself if it's possible.
All right, so I don't see Mr. Bowery here. So Ms. Chappelli, if you're willing to work with Mr. Johnson, I'm sorry to hear that you were incarcerated, sir. Obviously, it wasn't anything related to my charges. And I hope that that's put behind and we can get back to the business of trying to get you safely on the roads.
Yes.
So he has open no proof insurance out of Detroit and no insurance out of Hamtramck. Looks like he's got to finish something up out of Oak Park. Were you incarcerated from Oak Park?
Yes, I finished. I was released on New Year's Day from the Oak Park case, so I'm not sure why that's still showing up.
So my guess is if they discharge you from probation, that you still might have some monies owing there. I'm not sure. So I would suggest just contacting Oak Park and saying, hey, am I done? Because I went to jail. Am I done? And they might say there's some remaining fines and costs or fees. So I would check on that, Mr. Johnson. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So got the no proof insurance out of Detroit, the no insurance out of Hamtramck, and the no proof insurance out of Roseville. Okay. So
I contacted Roseville They told me that because of the duration of time that was between me initially getting the ticket and now, that it's a court date. So basically, I have to go in and bond myself out. I have a bondsman. I was going to get him to work on that after I was done with this case in Royal Oak and paid off at least 2 to 3 of my no proof of insurances.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like Miss Chappelle, like he's trying.
Yeah, and I can text him everything, all the information that I have, so that he has it on his phone as well.
Perfect. Okay. So, Mr. Johnson, it's the same advice I give to everyone: one step at a time. Every one that you conquer is one step closer to your goal. But if you try to just sit down and look at the whole big picture, it becomes overwhelming. Don't look at it that way. You know, let's really attack one of these, like take care of Roseville or take care of Detroit or take care of Hamtramck, and focus on that, and then move on to the next one. Okay.
Yes, I'm planning on taking care of the Hazel Park ticket in a couple hours when my money is deposited, and the rest of them shall be taken care of whatever time that you give me between now and then. It was just the 2.5 months kind of put me at a setback.
Okay, I'll bump it out 90 days just to buy you some extra time, and then I don't expect everything to be done. Just come back to me with an update. All right.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Rico Newsom. Rico Newsom.
Ready, Judge? I ain't gonna bring me up, Rico Newsom.
I'm here.
There he
There
is.
he is. Okay.
So, Judge, he license expired back in 2019. Unfortunately, he has no proofs in Centerline in 36. He believes he paid 36. I went online and there are 2 open tickets there. One has the 3 counts on it, and one of those counts is a no proof of insurance for 288. But I told him that if he's got receipts or something to prove it, then hopefully 36 will agree with him. And then there's a revocation from 48th for a driving license suspended.
Well, the revocation is related to, so he had a revocation that was based on just what Judge K talked about before, where he had a certain number of points, but that was back in 2021, and it's just continued on because he's picked up new cases and new tickets, and he hasn't. We've got to bring that cycle to an end. But my hope is if he takes care of the Centerline ticket, then we can make an appointment with the Secretary of State for a re-examination. Because if that happens, then maybe it's not an indefinite revocation, which is it is now, and it could be adjusted to either maybe a shorter time period. But we can't do anything until he takes care of that Centerline ticket.
What about 36, Judge?
And the 36, you're right. And the 36.
Okay.
So, Mr. Newsom, are you hearing us on this?
Yes.
Okay. So 36th, and so Detroit and Centerline, and take care of those 2 tickets, and then circle back to John, and then we can find out from the Secretary of State what you need to do to get out of revoked status. Okay.
Okay. I turned myself in to get out the bench warrant off at Centerline. I have a court date on Valentine's Day, a pretrial. So
that's perfect. That's exactly. I mean, Mr. Newsom, that's. So to me, when you go on Valentine's Day, find out and ask the judge or the attorney, and ask, okay, what do I need to do to make sure that this is taken care of, so I don't have a suspension anymore. Okay. I'd even ask for something they call a clearance while you're there. You want a clearance so that you have it in your hand. Okay.
Okay.
But he just needs more time. But Mr. Newsom, the fact that you turned yourself into Centerline, it tells me that you are continuing to be serious about this. And if you're serious about this, I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to stick around. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Newsom, I'll see you in 4 months, and I'm hoping that we have an update on Centerline in Detroit. And then in the meantime, if you take care of both those, call Mr. Angot, and we can make a phone call over to the Secretary of State and find out what's going on. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
We got a plan. Good luck.
Here we go.
All right.
Who's that on the screen there?
Yeah, I know who I
Who's
am.
that girl?
The happiest woman on the planet. Just look at it, Judge. Just look at it. Just look at it. Ain't that beautiful? That is just beautiful. I'm so in love with y'all. It don't make no sense. 99
all right,
years
so
old, but I got them.
let's call Miss Singleton's case and do this all official like. So
it's official.
22-00-264 people versus Sheila Singleton.
Your Honor, Elizabeth Chappelli, proudly on behalf of the wonderful Sheila Singleton. Today is a great day, Judge. She's already flashed her phone at you showing that valid driver's license. So congratulations.
Can we just
There's so much more I need to say.
I was gonna say there's we need to really spell out what Miss Singleton has gone through, what she has endured, what she has overcome. Because Miss Singleton has always been an open book to me. From the moment she came in, she talked about the fact that she's at her age she did not ever had a license. She was certainly frustrated about that reality, but there were periods in her life where she had to battle some real demons, and she went through a real hard road. But she, on a day-to-day basis, has been in recovery and is proud of it, and has maintained her sobriety and her new way of life. And now that she picked up all of the pieces of her life and is building something of purpose, of consequence, she set about the task of getting a license, because so many people take that for granted. All right. But that was just another symbol of this new life she had built. And she was willing to do whatever it took to do it all the right way. She paid off all her tickets. She cleared everything up. But because of that law that we're working so hard to change, she was denied. And not just denied in a way that many other people would just walk away and say, forget it. It's not worth it. It's never going to happen. The way that she went and took a test, she actually took a test, passed the test, and then, like a thief in the night, it was taken from her. Because she was then told, because of this law, she couldn't get a license. And to be fair, Miss Singleton was not happy and expressed her unhappiness on that day. But at the same point in time, she still showed up to this program. She didn't give up on this program. She didn't walk away from this program. She hung with us. And we stayed steadfast on trying to see what we could do differently. And this is the one where Judge Williams in 36th District Court helped us out, right? I'm going to send him a copy of this video, because he has to take ownership of this as well. Because if we didn't have an ally in Judge Larry Williams, we would not have been able to get that case moved. And Mr. Engat, you were the one that went down there, right?
Judge, I have to say this. Sheila at one point was so frustrated. And it was after the Secretary of State said, take the test, give us your money. She passed it. And then they said, oh, just kidding. You can't get what you want. And she said,
you can't get your money back.
I'm giving up. She actually said those words. And if I would have believed that, this program would have been over, because Sheila, and you define what this is all about. You have been amazing. So there, I said my 2 cents. And yes, Judge Williams in this, and I really hope that he gets the credit, and you remember him, Sheila, because
I will.
We have friends in this business, and we built it. It's because of cases like yours where we can go down and say, listen, this is who we have before you. This is somebody who has changed her life, done a whole 180 degrees. She's sang for us in the past.
So basically what I was really pleased with was that we were running into a brick wall. So we called I called Judge Williams, and he said, I can see her tomorrow. And and Mr. Engat moved his schedule. Miss Singleton made herself available, and we got that done. And so then all we needed was a couple weeks, get the permit, do all that kind of stuff. And what a Christmas present. December 26th, Sheila Singleton goes in. She completes her road test, and she has a valid license. Miss Singleton, please tell me it's been wonderful.
Judge, I can't even express to you
how happy I am. And not only did I get my license, or you all are responsible for my license, helping me get my license. Please forgive me. It's taking me to get my license, but I also got a job.
See?
And because of those license, I was able to go to work. And that makes me so happy because it's bad when you're an ex anything of an addict and there's nothing to do. And through my license, I can move with sense. I don't have to look behind my back, over my shoulder. And that's basically all because of you all. It's no basically, it is because of you, Judge, both of my attorneys. I just really want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you guys keep doing what you're doing, because there is more like me that really want to do something, that really desires change. And through you all, I found it, and I'm keeping it. I don't know what y'all gonna do, the rest of y'all, but I'm keeping mine. And I want to say one more thing. I just want to thank you three, and you two, Judge in Detroit.
Oh, thank you so much, Miss Singleton. Congratulations from all of us at Operation Drive.
Wait, I gotta show you. Okay, that's okay. I can't find it. Thank you so very much,
So
Judge. I'm gonna miss coming to court. What I'm gonna do now? What I'm gonna do now?
I'm gonna
also, I'd like to give credit to Judge Jarbo in St. Clair Shores, because he did allow a case to be amended as well, and the city attorney was excellent to work with. So many pieces of the puzzle to help Ms. Singleton, Judge Williams, John Angot, Judge Meineke, Judge Kay, Judge Jarbo. It's a puzzle, and it's all together in that beautiful license. And I almost talking to you, but keep my number. I'll keep it.
I'm gonna still call you.
So Miss Singleton, it's the order of this court. All right, now that we finally gotten to the point of sentencing. Now, I know that Miss Singleton, when she went to the Secretary of State that one day, she passed the test and then wanted to get a refund, and they did not refund her the test, even though they couldn't give her the license. Okay, so you did not obviously receive the money back that you deserve. Then my normal fines and costs on this would be $150. Because you never got your refund, I'm going to make sure you get a type of refund. You are not going to pay anything on this case. Your fines and costs are waived. This file is closed. Ms. Singleton, congratulations, everything that you've done, and the inspiration that you are. Please keep in touch with us when you can, and let us know all the great things you're doing now that you've got your job and your license and your life. What a life it is now, Miss Singleton. Congratulations.
Yes, it is. I thank you all. I hate to say bye.
We're not going anywhere. So you don't lose. You're not going to lose us as a resource. And make sure, I know, Mr. Hangot, Miss Chappelli, if God forbid you ever pick up another ticket, you give them a call. I'm sure they'll take care of it.
But not only that, when I feel a little, sometimes I get a little, your mind just tell you to go the other way. I want to be able to know that I can call one of you all. Because you have been my inspiration, and I don't want to lose you guys. I mean, for real.
You're not.
We're not going anywhere.
Thank you.
Not anywhere. All right. Take care.
All right. I'm going to hang up and go shout now. I got something to shout about.
Take care, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you again. Bye, Chappelli. You know you my girl. You're the number one. All you guys are number one.
Take care. All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right, John Clark. 23-00494.
Your Honor, Elizabeth Chappelli for Mr. John Clark. So Mr. Clark and I have had in-depth review over what's occurring that's holding him up right now. There's matters in Bloomfield Hills as well as 52-3. Those are probably the most concerning matters because those also have bench warrants. And not only does the misdemeanor have bench warrant out of Rochester, but the civil infractions have bench warrants out of Bloomfield Hills. So he knows that he has to go there. I've given him the case numbers. He knows what the bond amounts are. And then, of course, there was a case here, a no proof, that I believe either you or Judge K allowed him to pay the clearance. And Mr. Clark, did you have the opportunity to go online and pay that 45?
No, I was gonna do that like right now.
Okay. So that'll pick off one judge. And then there's Sterling Heights and St. Clair Shores. But again, the Rochester Hills and Bloomfield Hills both have misdemeanors with them. And on top of that, Bloomfield Hills has issued warrants for the civils. So, Mr. Clark, I just was real straight with him and said, don't go into those courthouses without money and be prepared to pay a bond. And also, it looks a lot better to walk in on your own accord as opposed to walking in handcuffs and then saying, I was going to come tomorrow. So, and he understands that. He's a young guy, but he gets it.
So we just need some time.
Yes.
And, Mr. Clark, I don't have a problem with that, but if you take care of that $45 fee out of Royal Oak, and then try to take care of some of the courts where it's just civil infractions, you just want to put yourself in the best possible position when you go into some of these courts. I can't make any promises that it's going to be easy, but what I can say is, we can't get where we need to go. We can't get you to the point where you have a license unless we walk through the fire and deal with some of those courts. The only hope is that the more you go in there with, hey, I'm working with Judge Meineke in Operation Drive, and I paid some of these other tickets, and I'm here on my own accord, that maybe that will help limit the damage, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I was gonna call after this and try and find out everything I need to take care of, and then start the process this week of fixing everything.
Perfect. All right, that sounds like a plan to me. So I will adjourn this 90 days, and all I want when I see again is an update. And my hope is it's that we've chopped down a couple of these and we're moving forward, Mr. Clark. But you've got our lines of communication. Reach out to Ms. Chappelli, even if it's just to get a pep talk before you go into the 48th. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you, Adam.
All right. Crystal Matthews.
I am here.
All right. That's case number 2301321. Okay.
Sorry, Judge. John, I got a freaking deal for Crystal Matthews. Sorry, Crystal. Hi, Crystal.
Hi.
So we have a bad number for you, and I could not get a hold of you.
Oh.
Don't say it online, but do you know how to chat?
I think so.
Well, real quick, so I just need to confirm. So we had a
I did text Miss Chupak. I texted her yesterday about getting my license and stuff.
Did you?
She was the original attorney. Yep.
Okay, so I just want to confirm a couple things. Are you still in Florida?
No.
No. Okay. So you're back here in Michigan?
Yes.
Okay. And just want to confirm we're still good on the I'm not going to identify the city, but the Noller address is still good.
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Angat, Ms. Chupak I have her number. I'm going to text it to you, Mr. Angat. It's it ends in the 1231, right? Miss Matthews?
That is not the current number, no.
Oh, see, now I do it, and then I don't have a good number either, so.
And
Ms.
that may be
Matthews-
the one that I tried and it said it's no longer in service.
So this will be really easy. I'm gonna chat you a message. And then you respond to that message with your phone number, and I can get that to Mr. Angat.
One more
Thank
question.
you so much.
Crystal, did you have a Florida license?
I did.
Okay.
I had a valid Florida license at the last court appearance, and then I went and got it transferred to a Michigan license a few days ago. So I have the temporary and the receipt, and I'm just waiting for the official one in the mail.
Oh, good.
And
So we
Okay.
do have a valid Michigan license now.
Yes.
Oh, good. We'll be able to close this out today then.
Perfect.
So just hang tight.
Congratulations. I would have told you that over and over if I had the right numbers. So that's fantastic.
But the only challenge is, Mr. Angat, as of right now, the record I have shows that we still don't have a license. So I just, and ma'am, that's only because my record is dated. So let me see if I can get an updated driving record. Monica, can we pull a new driving record for Miss Matthews and confirm that she has, reinstated her Michigan license, and then we should be good to go. So Miss Matthews, just tread water here with me for just a minute. I'm going to call another case while we run your record, and that way you can hear directly from me that even though you only have a temporary in your hand, that according to the state of Michigan, you have a full valid license. Okay?
Yep.
All right. Guy Crowell.
Hang tight, Crystal.
Yep, no problem.
Okay.
Guy Crowell. Mr. Crowell, are you here?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, yes.
Can you see me?
I cannot see you, though. I can hear you.
The host. Okay.
There you are.
There you go.
Oh, hi.
Okay, so Mr.
I'm
Crowell
good.
was placed in our Operation Drive program. Judge Kolakowski wanted to get him at the very least into restricted status. And it's my understanding that we're there. Is that right, Ms. Chappelli?
Well, Judge, the number that I had for Mr. Crowell didn't connect to him.
Really?
Well, it was from an old case file that we retrieved it. It ended 1342. Is that an old number?
Oh, yes, that's very old. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Judge, this is his first review, as you said. I believe he's got his permit. Is that accurate, Mr. Crowell?
If you guys could bear with me on this, I am just as confused as anybody else. So I ended up doing 9 days in Oakland County for something that was flagged from 10 years ago. They then sent me the day I got out of jail, which I'm grabbing right now. I was sent this from State of Michigan, Department of State, saying from Troy, saying to Secretary of State to drop all of my anything that had to do with 4/4/14, and then I'm sorry, and then the day after I got out of court with you guys on last month, and said
December
we were going to
December 4th.
yeah, that day I also received in the mail again from Secretary of State, as I'm going to show you, a second license. They had given me my license in August. Then you guys said in December that it was in fact suspended until Christmas. However, that day I got a license in the mail, and I also have this paperwork saying that it is not suspended. And I'm just not sure where I'm at right now, to tell you the truth. I've been just trying to get to the bottom of it.
All right, hold on one second for me. Hold on.
Sure.
All right, so I'm just trying to figure out, Mr. Carl, when I look at your driving record right now.
Okay.
All right, so April 4th of 2014. On that day, there were allegations of a drinking and driving charge. On September 21st of this year, 2023, it looks like there finally was this finally hit your record. So it would basically, when I read this, it would look to me like you pled guilty on that day and it went on your record.
Right.
And so did that happen? Did you plead guilty in September to this charge?
I did. So, I mean, and I don't know what this, but really at the end of the day, whatever it takes for this to be over. But then I didn't understand this. The Michigan Department of State has received notification from Troy 52-4 District Court that the violation of operating while intoxicated you were ticketed for on 4/4/14 should be removed from your driving record.
Who sent that to you, Troy?
Yes, I'm gonna turn the phone so you could see it. I don't know if that does anything at all.
You might want to, I don't want you to, because it's going to have some personal information on there.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
necessarily put that in the record. Now, why don't we do this? Because the way I read his record, it would be as if he had a restricted permit. So it's the weirdest thing. He should have a restricted license. All right. But when I look at it, it looks like he's got a permit that's subject to restrictions. So Mr. Crowell, just so you know how the law should work in this environment, if on the day you took a plea, you had a valid license, and the day you offered a plea, September 21st, 2023, you had a valid license. The Secretary of State, upon receiving that notification, would give you a hard suspension for 30 days, followed by a restricted license. Okay. So on September 21st, 2023, did you have a valid license on that day, or had it gone into suspension, or can you identify where you were at licensing wise on September 21st, 2023?
September 21st, 2023.
That was
I had a valid
of the Troy matter.
I had a valid driver's license.
Judge, I'm looking at the ROA essentially.
Yeah.
And it says September 21st, 2023, disposition dismissed by party, drove a license suspended, as well as a disposition on an OWI third offense dismissed by party. And the offense date was 4/4/14.
So they dismissed a drunk driving third.
And it may have been this. My guess. Well, he did plead to
a first or a second.
You pled to a second, didn't you, sir? You pled to a second offense?
I believe so.
Yeah, he pled to a second offense.
So is he in a sobriety court with them or something?
Let me look. Sentencing was held on 11/2 of 23, right? And you attended that, sir, in front of Judge McGinnis?
Yes, and they pled it down to where there was no sobriety court. It was very complicated.
Minimum term 14 days.
I did 14 days to get everything to just go away. No sobriety court, no probation.
So he did jail.
So you whoa. You did on an OWI second, you did 14 days in jail and you're done?
Yes. Okay,
that is it seems like a very favorable resolution ultimately, Mr. Crowell.
It was a decade-old case for an unmeasurable amount of marijuana, and nobody knew anything. So I think that's where it got confusing.
Nope, Mr. Crowell. No judgment on my end. It's a very favorable outcome ultimately.
Absolutely. I know in a lot of respects I got lucky.
I do believe you owe money though, sir.
And I will pay whatever amounts of money to whomever. I'm here to rectify all of this today. And like you were saying to the previous woman and men that were on here, all I've been doing since this all popped up was step after step after step. I turned myself into Troy. They didn't even ask me. I didn't even know that was going on. I didn't know that until last year when I was flying back from Mexico and they flagged me at the border for my honeymoon. So since then, I've been battling all of this.
Okay, so here's what we need to do. from my vantage point, you should have a restricted license. But if you got pulled over right now, it would say that you have a permit, which you don't want that, sir. Okay.
No.
And so the best advice I can give you right now is just make sure
Don't get pulled over.
Yeah, well, no.
I'm kidding.
If you were driving, again, from what I read, it says permit. So
well, I'm not gonna until I figure this out.
Right. So just make sure no matter what, you have every piece of paperwork that's been sent to you in your possession to protect you. Okay. Yeah. And Ms. Chappelli, what I'll do, and we'll do this real easily. I'll have our court administrator call up the Secretary of State and find out what he needs to do to make it so that his record, if anybody runs it, it says restricted license and not restricted permit.
Right.
So, Mr. Crowell, but what we need to do is multi-angles of attack.
Okay.
You call the Secretary of State, we'll call the Secretary of State.
I'm with you.
You call them and say, hey, I just was in court and they told me I had a restricted permit. What gives?
Right.
And then we're going to call and say, he should have a restricted license, but your
Right.
record show permit.
And I'm glad we've come to this fork in the road, because I do believe, and I'm sure you guys will agree with me, that your presence typically commands answers a little more direct and sooner. So maybe we can get to the bottom of this together.
Okay, so
And
Tammy,
Judge, I will say, it looks
Go
like
ahead.
you're totally paid off for Troy. You put all that on a credit card?
Oh yeah. I knocked out Troy. I was
paid
talking
it
about
off,
whatever
yeah.
I got to pay to you guys.
Yeah.
And what you have to pay us depends on whether or not your license is restored.
Oh, perfect. So let's
So we're
you
gonna,
tell me what to do. Do I leave here today and try to get a hold of Secretary of State, and you guys do the same thing, and then we talk in
2 weeks,
however
from
many
today.
days?
2 weeks from today.
That sounds amazing.
All right, so we need to confirm your status with the Secretary of State,
Okay.
and we'll see you back here in 2 weeks. And you call, we call, and then if you are in a restricted license status, then you have. What we look for is we want to get somebody back to either full license or at the very least a restricted license so they can go to and from work. And as long as we get somebody to that place, then we reduce fines and costs, payment plan, close the file.
Okay. That sounds great. And sorry if I seem like short or irritated. I'm just confused on everything. And I think that you guys are looking on the other end going, wow, this is a little bit different as well. So
No, don't worry about me, sir. You have been, I took it to be direct, not rude. So don't worry.
Okay. Very cool. I was already embarrassed that I'm in my work clothes here. So
You're fine. Good luck, sir.
all right. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Driver. Okay. Let's see here. Monica, did you, I have Mr. Crowell's. Did you pull a new record for Miss Matthews? I need to see that she's fully restored. I still don't have that updated yet. Hang in there, Miss Matthews. I'm sorry. We should get that shortly.
No problem, Your Honor.
Tracy. All right, hang on. It shouldn't be long. Tracy Williams.
I'm in here.
Get there. And then I'm going to call Tracy Williams, then Princess Gilbert.
Hello.
Yep, Mr. Williams. That's 21-00236.
Your Honor, Elizabeth Chappelli on behalf of Tracy Williams. I was able to reach a family member. I believe, Mr. Williams, your phone was broken or at some point, so we may need to update your number. But in any event, Judge, there's two matters. There's a no proof of insurance out of Howell from 2017 that's suspending him, as well as false information to a police officer in Romulus. And he is a state ID holder only. So if that false ID were to go on his record today from 2018, it could trigger 303G if there's another ticket.
Okay, well, let's see where we stand. Mr. Williams, are you still with me?
Yeah.
Is your camera not working?
I'm a little sick. I'll turn it on though.
Oh.
All right. Hang in there, Mr. Williams. Okay, so walking through his license, we have, all right. 16, 2017, 2017. 2017. So we have the suspension out of Romulus for the false info. So the most recent convictions that we have are the ones that would trigger 303G would be May 31st of 2021. Okay. August 25th of 2021. May 24th of 2021. May 9th of 2023. Oof, out of Detroit. So hold on one second.
You said May 9th of 2023?
Yes, Mr. Williams, I have a
Move.
I have a traffic stop out of February of last year for failing to signal and or observe, and a drove left of center that you pled to in May. So that's one. So that would count as one, Ms. Chappelle. So it's two tickets, but it was count as one because it's out of the same traffic stop. So that pushes us to his 2021s. So he's got no proof of insurance out of Detroit, August 25th of 2021. So to me, reading his record, it looks like he would be eligible in August of this year.
Now, those tickets in Detroit, I spoke to 36th District Court. I was locked up and served time for them tickets, but they somehow still there.
Well, Mr. Williams, just it's not that the tickets are unpaid out of Detroit. It's that they hit your record. And so because you've never had a license, it's how many tickets do you have at the time you go in to apply for your license. There's a law that says if you got 2 within 3 years, you're done. You can't get a license. And you have 2 within 3 years. And the one that falls off the soonest is in August of 2021 ticket. So that puts us at August of 2024. That's 3 years. Anyway, long story short is there are two things that are working here, because I don't want to keep you on too long. I need you to get some rest because I can tell you're not feeling all that great. Okay. So you got to take care of Howell and you got to take care of Romulus. All right. So, Ms. Chappelle, we can't even get anything done until he takes care of those 2. Okay. Right. And the hope is that he would be able to go in and get something non-reportable. Yay. He would be able to get something non-reportable so that it doesn't mess up his efforts to get a license. Now, Mr. Williams, the reason that we're even worried about 2 within 3 and all that is because of this law that we're trying to get changed anyway. And so, and we're actually pretty far along in getting it changed. So that's why I'm saying I don't want to focus too much on the 2 within 3 right now, because we don't even get to that until he clears up Howell and Romulus. So, Mr. Williams, this is the best information I can give you right now. Get a court date in Howell, get a court date in Romulus. Before you go in, talk to Ms. Chappelle so you know what to look for. Or when you go in there, ask for a court-appointed attorney so that you can make sure that you have the least amount of impact on your driving record. Because anything you do that hits your record, even if it's old, if it's something that's old that you plead to now, it hits your record now, not back then, and it could mess up your chance to get a license. Okay.
All right.
So make a court date in Howell, make a court date in Romulus, and then talk to Ms. Chappelle before you have to go into court. And then we can give you some advice on what to
All
look
right.
for, what to try to do. In the meantime, I'm going to keep trying to get that other law changed so that instead of August of this year, you maybe can get it sooner.
All right.
Okay. So I can't do anything on Howell and Romulus. You got to do that, but I'm trying to change that law otherwise. Okay.
All right.
But the key for me is you showed up today. I just need an update. I'm going to delay all this. You're not going to have to pay anything on this ticket right now. And I'll give you a break later when we get this license cleared. But it's a big deal that you showed up today and you were sick. That tells me you're a serious guy and you want to get this done.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll bump this out 90 days and we'll get to work on Howell and Romulus. Good luck, Mr. Williams, and feel
All right.
better.
Thank you.
Feel better. Thank you, Your Honor.
Miss Matthews, I have it. Miss Matthews.
Hey, I'm here.
Miss Matthews, valid. You are all set. You do have a valid license, ma'am. Well done. Good job. Way to take care of it.
Awesome.
Your Honor, I would like to say something if I could.
Here we go.
This is my second opportunity to just kind of sit here and witness you working with people. And I witnessed Miss Singleton's case and I was in tears. I was really glad you didn't call me right after her. My bonus dad, who is no longer here, was an attorney and he did a lot to help people, and I just kind of have a feeling you guys would have got along great. And I just want to thank you for doing an amazing job.
You know how much I appreciate that, Miss Matthews. It is, I think that too often some of my colleagues on the bench forget what an absolute privilege it is to be in the position that we're in, and what an opportunity every single day that's presented in working change and positive, a new positive reality for so many people. If you just stop for a minute and realize that our business is people, and I might be coming across someone in one of their worst moments in life, and I could be a part of their progress moving forward. I maybe give them a reason to believe in themselves or find value in themselves, and this is one of the best things I get to do. And I'm so glad that you said that, Miss Matthews, because I don't do it for any other reason other than I get so much out of this. I mean, my cup is overflowing every single Thursday afternoon that I get a chance to be a part of this, because if you want to be inspired, don't go watch a movie. Come here, watch this. If you want to believe in the power and triumph of the human spirit and overcoming incredible odds, stick around for a minute. Miss Singleton, with everything that had been thrown in her life, had no business even getting a license, let alone still being here. I'm sure there are plenty of moments, and she was very open with me about this, where maybe she's not on this planet anymore, and yet she's still here. And not only that, she's thriving and overcoming and succeeding. And boy, if you are just a judge that shuffles through files and just becomes jaded because you see different tickets, and boy, you miss out at the wonder that could be.
Right, absolutely. I was gonna say, I'm like, can I just come hang out in your courtroom when I need a reminder that there's still good in the world?
Oh, you're welcome anytime, Miss Matthews. And now I know, shoot, you could even drive here now. So
I absolutely could.
So thank you very much for your.
I spent a lot of my childhood hanging out in the back of courtrooms doing my schoolwork. I was homeschooled for a while, so yeah, it's great.
Well, Miss Matthews, thank you so much for your kind words. Now, and we can move forward with sentencing. Mr. Angat, Ms. Chappelle, anything before the court moves forward with sentence?
I can't top that. Just congratulations. I'm so happy that you're, in the position to get back on the road and not worry about things. So, Crystal, thank you, though. Your words it's why we do this. It's, Sheila Singleton is why we do this. So thank you.
Yeah, hearing about your guys' work with her was also amazing. So
Yeah, it also should be stated time and again, this is so much more than one person. I'm nothing without Mr. Angot. I'm nothing without Ms. Chappelli. You know, it's like all of these incredible things that we're able to accomplish. It really truly is a team effort. Miss Bonet, my court administrator, the fact that she's willing to, I mean, she's busy enough doing her day-to-day duties, and she picks up the phone and will call other court administrators. It's truly a team effort, but it's just a reminder when that there are truly just good things out there that everybody can agree on, no matter what anyone's politics or situations or backgrounds. We can at least agree that with Miss Singleton, that was really, really good. So we should want to be more a part of more things like that. So anyway, it's a sentence of this court, Miss Matthews, that the fine will be reduced from $500 to the $25. I will waive all court costs. The state of Michigan costs are $125. The grand total is $150. I will authorize a long-term payment plan, whatever you need, Miss Matthews. And we have your phone number now. Ms. Chappelli can text you information about calling to set up a payment plan if you need it. And Ms. Matthews, stop by anytime. It meant a lot to me what you had to say. Thank you so much.
thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate everything.
All right, take care. Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks.
Princess Gilbert, 2020-00-838, 20-01-270.
Ready again, Your Honor. John, I got a pretty. We have Princess Gilbert.
I think Miss Gilbert is here. In the meantime, I do have somebody on a Moto G stylus while I'm waiting for a mute, and orange and gray flannel plaid check. Sir, can you state your name? Can you hear me okay, sir?
Are you
Yep.
speaking Marvin Johnson?
Okay. Well, Mr. Johnson's ready to go, so I'll call Mr. Johnson, then hopefully we'll get Miss Gilbert to log in. So, all right, 23-00-486, Marvin Johnson.
Ready. Hey, Marvin. John Angot appearing on behalf of Marvin Johnson.
Mr. Angus.
I have been watching you being patient and being a great kind of observer through this whole thing. And I really appreciate that, you know, you're here and you have the same goal as everybody else. You want to get a license back, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Judge, we were not able to connect, but did you get my messages?
I haven't gotten any messages.
Okay. We got to make sure we get the right number. But that
I don't know
being
if we have.